Hey guys, welcome back again from Tampa Bay. I'm going out for a nice casual ride here. I'm going to chase the sun into the sunset, going down to one of our local little beach areas. Well, I guess it's more of a dock and a fishing place now. So I hope everyone is having a fantastic holiday break if you're on one, or maybe you have one coming up. We have just a few days until Christmas. It really went fast this year. It seems like yesterday it was summer. Really does. Maybe that's because it's still in the freaking 80s here. But seriously, time flies. I mean, it was yesterday. I was in Arizona for Thanksgiving, and it was the day before that it was Halloween. Day before that, kids were going back to school. It is just flying by for some reason, 2016. So today I had quite a lot going on. Last night had an awesome CO live show for Cigar Obsession. Had Blanco Cigars over, and we did a really fun 3-hour holiday show. Those are cool lights. I like those light up LEDs they're putting around a lot of cars now. Kind of like the front of the FJR. Maybe that's why I like the front so much. So we had some real good times last night. Smoked a lot of cigars. Had some libations. Had some awesome participation. We had a record-setting 1,877 people on live. So that was really cool. Of course, several thousand more have already been watching the replay today. Needless to say, I was kind of tired. I don't think I went to bed until about 6 o'clock this morning. Slept for just a few hours. And then, I don't know, I can't even remember. I was half asleep, half awake. My wife woke me up for something. But anyway, I stayed up because I had a buddy coming over who just upgraded from a Gen 2 to a Gen 3 FJR. He got a 2014, a red one just like this, but the A model, and had a whole bunch of stuff done to it already. It was a gently used one, and it turned out to be a solid machine. Just a couple things he wanted to see about doing. He's got a real nice set of Yoshi pipes on it, and they have the baffles in. But he couldn't get the little set screws out to remove the baffles. He wanted to see what it sounded like. It sounded great with them in, at least from the outsider's perspective. But he wanted to try it. And he couldn't get the screws to budge, so he came over because he didn't have that many tools here. He just moved back here from Germany. So there are little access holes to get to the set screws. I want to go straight. In the carbon fiber. You know what? I'm going to go to another place. Go down to Green Key. So I put my wrench in the access hole, line it up. There's a little bit of slop on the bolts. Turns out they're SAE bolts in Japanese exhaust pipes. Very strange. But it is what it is. Still wouldn't budge. Nothing. So said worst case scenario, we can extract them. We just have to take the cans off and get a little better angle with the extractor. So we took one off, and I start to do that, and then I see a little tiny spot weld on the edge of the bolt head. So they are welded in place set screws, and I searched online. I didn't see anybody else reporting it. I don't know if it was a special thing. Maybe they came from California and it's for emissions. We had no idea. But I tried to kind of whack it out. I didn't have a chisel or a file quite small enough to get in the access, so I tried a screwdriver, and it made a mark on it, but it didn't break it free. I just didn't have anything to get real good leverage in there. So if anybody has any tips, this is the first time I've even seen these cans. I'd appreciate it. He didn't want to risk the carbon fiber shell there, so I said, screw it, put it back on, it's good enough. So they're back on, and they do sound great even with the baffles in. But if I'm missing something, or if you've got a set of these and maybe it's just you do have to whack it off, and it sounds bad, chisel it off, maybe that's just the right thing to do, let me know. He's local, so he'll be over again. About the only thing he needs to do right away now is change his brake fluid. clutch was recently done, but the brake fluid's looking pretty brown. Not a huge deal. He knows how to do it. I worked with him on his last bike and we did a whole fluid change. But his brother got a good deal too, because he got his old Gen 2 bike, which was in great shape. So now they're both going to have some fun on FJRs. Great bikes. Right after that, my wife discovers a huge nail, of course, right next to the sidewall in her front left tire of her car. So we spent some time on the phone and websites looking for a couple tires. I wanted to put the OEMs back on because they're actually really good tires. And if you can afford to wait and mail order them, really good prices. I found them as low as 130 bucks. They're Hankook. The performance and ride quality is truly excellent. She has a 2013. I have a 2012 Kissols. And I had different tires on mine when I got it, and they kind of sucked. But hers are really good. We both have the same Plus model. Nothing different. They just changed suppliers for that year. And the Hankook are really nice. They're the, what are they called? The H726 is what's on there. The low rolling resistance model. And it's a very cushy, luxurious ride, and no joke, a 50,000+ mile tire. She's over 30 and has, well, had a good half tread left. I mean, they were beefy, and she drives as hard as I do. But couldn't find anybody that had them in stock around here at all. The nearest date would have been 2 days from now if Tire Kingdom got them, and they would have been another 70 bucks than the lowest mail order price. So we went to Sam's, and she put on the same set that I've got on all four of mine, BF Goodrich. I can't even remember the name of them, but they're very decent tires. A little more towards the mileage than performance side. Not super sticky. The Hankooks were certainly stickier, but I'm very happy with the mileage I'm getting out of these, and they were 110 a piece at Sam's. And then she got the road warranty on hers. That was another, I think, 25 after tax, something like that. So if she ever gets another nail in these new tires in the next 4 years, she gets free tires. That's a good deal. I probably should have gotten it on mine. Man, it just occurred to me why there is so much traffic out today. I'm catching every single light, and this never happens. I'm in the middle of rush hour. It's quarter after 5. Didn't even think about it. I'm not in the habit of being out during rush hour, going to or coming home from work. And the days of the week just kind of blend together for me. I had to think for a second what day it was today. It's Thursday. It seems like a weekend. It really does seem like a Sunday. So that's why the road here is absolutely jam-packed, especially for this area. It's usually really good, but I never catch every single light. It's a little ridiculous. So after the adventure of tires, we're on a hunt for some plum wine, which we love. And tonight we're throwing a party, and we wanted a couple bottles of plum wine and one to buy as a gift, and couldn't find it anywhere. If you haven't had it, it's a Japanese wine and goes very well with anything spicy, sushi, seafood. So of course we usually have it when we go out for sushi. It's very sweet. It's one of the sweetest wines out there, but very smooth. It's not carbonated. It's served very cold or over ice. Love the stuff. So we wanted to have that tonight. I'm doing some Cajun surf and turf kebabs. Went to our normal place where we usually get it. Nope, not a single one. Went to Winn-Dixie where we've gotten it in the past. I'm really pissed at Winn-Dixie. We had a great grocery store. I've talked about this in the past, and they gutted it when they bought the chain. They closed the meat department first, then the seafood counter. Now they've gutted the wine department. I mean, it's turning into a ghost store. I don't know what they're thinking. So struck out there. Then we went down to Publix, which is in our area the more upscale place, and they have a very nice wine selection. But they got rid of their sushi department, and along with that, their plum wine selection. Struck out there. So I said, screw this. Now we'd been bouncing around to all these stores, and by this time, Sam's Club called and her new tires are ready, so I dropped her back off. And then I had to go down to Home Depot because I needed a couple screws. And I swung by our big, really nice liquor store that I get my stuff from, like my scotches. And they have everything. It's just a little bit of a drive. But a fantastic selection and really good prices on everything, especially craft beer. They've got, I mean, the biggest selection of craft beers I've seen within 30 miles. And the cool thing is they have a mix and match your own 6-pack. They've got all these single bottles and you just make what you want and you get 10% off the whole thing. So it's really cool. But they had plum wine. They had multiple plum wines. So I got the one that we love, which is called Fuki. Fuki also has a very good sake if you're into that. I'm not that much of a fan of it. And they also had a more upscale and a 50% higher proof plum wine. So I got that as the gift. So I hope they enjoy that. So tonight, after, let's see, what is it now? Again, an hour and a half. I'll start the grill up, have some delicious kebabs. Oh shoot, I forgot to get some other stuff at the store. I wanted to do some really cool potatoes on the grill. Oh crap. Well, I'll stop on the store. I'm the FJR, so I've got bags, luckily. I almost took the bobber. But I had to go to Home Depot and get a couple screws. I was just musing around in the garage last night, and I noticed the bracket in front of the bobber that keeps all the cables and controls neatly behind the headlight was kind of cockeyed. So I'm looking at it, and it's got 2 bolts that come up from the bottom. One of them was completely gone, and the other was run 3/4 out. So that vibrated right out. I'm thinking, did I not tighten these? Did I not put Loctite on them? So I took the remaining bolt out. Sure enough, it had Loctite on it. So I guess the vibration just really takes a toll with those, and I'll have to keep my eye on them. But I got a couple replacements. Going out to a little tiny key / island / park / beach / nature walk. It's actually a nice little hidden spot. I've gone out here before for night photography. When we have a storm rolling in, I'm quite out in the water by now. These are mangroves and there's water right on the other side. You can see it here. When the storms roll in, sometimes I can set up right here so I'm right at the water level and get awesome shots of lightning and stuff like that. And then through this gate here, up to here is the park. They've got a boardwalk set up that goes in through the swamp and mangrove area for a bit. About 1/8 of a mile back through. Nice wooden boardwalks. And then a small beach and a play area and a little pavilion that you can rent out or have events at. I see they have pay for parking here now. This was one of the last holdouts. Everything here used to be free, but a couple years ago they've gone to pay stations at all parks, which sucks. But this is at least cheap enough. $2, no problem. Some of them, they were $5, and they saw attendance die. Seeing if I could get a nice shot of the sunset. I'm gonna park real quick here. Nobody cares about a second. I just want to grab a shot. Where are the parking spots? Oh man, way over there. Okay, I'll just park here. Nope, that's handicap. I was gonna just run up next to the thingamabob, but I'm not a dick. This'll do. Welcome to Florida. Merry Christmas, guys. Have a great holiday. Have a safe one. We'll see you next year.